Good, happy Friday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Good Morning, New Hampshire. Let's get started. First up, Hopkinton mother high on drugs crashes with children in car, police say. A Hopkinton mother is facing a slew of charges after she drove to Massachusetts to buy heroin before crashing into a parked vehicle in Salem with her two children. New TV ad, GOP group hits Hassan for using taxpayer dollars for security while campaigning. The same pro-Republican issue advocacy group that accused Governor Maggie Hassan of lagging in the first fight against the state's heroin epidemic will return to airwaves Friday, this time criticizing her for spending taxpayer dollars on her security detail for political events. New Hampshire holding annual moose lottery for 71 permits. New Hampshire is holding its annual moose hunt lottery on Friday. Publisher Forbes campaign with Ashu talks about Trump. Magazine publisher and business magnate Steve Forbes returned to New Hampshire on Thursday to campaign with Republican 1st District U.S. House candidate Rich Ashu, calling the former BAE system executive the most qualified candidate for the seat. Four-alarm brush fire in Pelham burns 2 acres. A four-alarm brush fire burned in Pelham Thursday afternoon. Salem dispatcher resigns from police force following husband's arrest. A Salem dispatcher has resigned following her police officer husband's arrest on federal extortion charges. Aerosmith star Steven Tyler stopped by Best of New Hampshire Awards party. The Granite State's own Steven Tyler showed up and he partied like a rock star. DHHS released PFC blood testing results from Pease trade port. The New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services has released a final report analyzing results from the Pease International Trade Port Performical Blood Testing Program. Veterans on motorcycles ride to bring home POWs, MIA soldiers. More than 500 people took over the streets of Meredith Thursday in the 23rd Rolling Thunder Freedom Ride. Manchester man sentenced for bank robberies. A bank robber was sentenced to more than 5 years in federal prison after committing a string of crimes last fall. Bedford police urge vigilance following car burglaries. Police are urging residents to be extra vigilant after arresting 3 men on suspicious of attempting to break into a vehicle. Man arrested, suspected of selling drugs that led to overdose. A Kingston man is facing a federal drug charge on suspicious of selling heroin or fentanyl to a man who overdosed and died. New Hampshire farmers deal with continuing drought conditions. Drought conditions are continuing in New Hampshire, and farms are trying to cope at a time of year when local produce begins appearing in farm stands. House suspends rules passed granite hammer bill. Law enforcement agencies across the state are poised to receive more resources to fight the war on drugs after state lawmakers passed a funding package Thursday to target high drug trafficking areas. Toddlers found wandering with drug paraphernalia in Gilmington. 2 children are safe after a passerby found them wandering the streets in Gilmington. Trump-Clinton money ashwi in conflicts of interest. No matter who wins in November, the next president will bring enormous potential conflicts of interest to the Oval Office. And with watchdogs say Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump aren't planning to do nearly enough to remove themselves from the entanglements that come with 2 global brands stamped with their names. Feds, Billard, only 1 rate hike needed through 2018. St. Lucie Fed President Jim Billard, in a significant shift in his outlook for the U.S. economy, now says low growth and very low Fed funds rate of just 63 base points will likely remain in place through 2018. Second black box recovered from downed Egypt aircraft, Egyptian officials say. A second flight data recorder of the downed Egypt airplane that killed 66 people on board has been recovered from the Mediterranean, according to Egyptian investigators. The Egyptian minister said crews searching for the wreckage pulled the recorder from the Mediterranean Sea a day after recovering the first cockpit voice recorder, according to a statement released Friday. And we have a video to show you. Orlando shooter text wife during attack. Take a look at the video.
This is Orlando shooter Omar Mateen on duty as a security guard during the BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. Mateen was captured on hidden camera in a 2012 documentary on the spill, ranting about the people there to clean up the water.
Like, everybody just get out to get paid. They're like hoping for more oil to come out and more people to complain so they'll have the jobs.
4 years later, Mateen would carry out the worst mass shooting in modern American history. New video of the attack, captured on a cell phone from inside the Pulse nightclub bathroom, shows frightened clubgoers taking cover in a bathroom stall. One of the first police officers on the scene told CNN what he saw inside.
It was kind of dark, you know. I had this disco light still going. And I just began yelling, "Hey guys, come on up, come on up, come on up. You know, we got you, we got you." And just unfortunately, it took a minute, but realized that they weren't faking. It's just they couldn't get up.
In an interview with CNN's Anderson Cooper, Orlando Police Chief John Mina explained why officers waited hours before storming the nightclub, despite victims shot and bleeding inside, desperate to be rescued.
Our officers went in there, exchanged gunfire with him, forced him to retreat, and basically become a barricaded gunman in the bathroom.
Police finally made the call to blow through a wall and enter the club when Mateen made a threat to detonate bombs inside.
We had information that he was going to put explosive vests on 4 people and then blow the place up in 15 minutes. By that time, we were already set with our explosive breach, and that's when we made the decision.
In a letter to Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, Senator Ron Johnson details that the gunman searched on the social networking site for Pulse Orlando and shooting right in the middle of the rampage. Before and during the attack, Mateen, the senator says, posted, quote, "Now taste the Islamic State vengeance." And one final chilling post, quote, "In the next few days, you will see attacks from the Islamic State in the USA." Investigators now continue to look at what Mateen's wife, Noor Salman, knew about Mateen's plans. CNN has learned investigators believe she even communicated with her husband via text messages during his 3-hour rampage. Salman has now given conflicting statements, according to law enforcement officials, but admits that she suspected Mateen was planning an attack, possibly on Pulse. Salman has told investigators that on the day before the shooting, she tried to tell Mateen not to commit an act of violence, but she did not call the police.
Okay, there you go for that report. Now, time for your weather. Let's take a look at your weather on our weather system. Your wind speed peak is 2. Current is 1 coming from the south. Temperature is 63 degrees. Humidity is 62%. Heat index is 63. And it's partly cloudy today. And your pressure is 30.00. And your record high is 64. And now let's take a look at your radar. Here's a look at your radar right now. As you see, we have some clouds and a few rain showers moving through. And here's a look at your next 7-day forecast. And here's a look at your traffic right now. We're seeing a lot of green roadways, and we have a few yellow areas and a few red areas. Otherwise, traffic is moving pretty good on your Friday morning. And we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more Good Morning New Hampshire. Don't go anywhere.